It can be super overwhelming to come to the Denver area and try to figure out where you want to live, because Denver is basically this huge, expansive area all the way up north to Boulder, down south to Castle Rock, and the areas in between are so vastly different. So this video is to rank, in my opinion, and also based on some interesting data, all of the different cities in the Denver metro region for you so that you can kind of help start making some decisions on the general area on where you might want to live. Honestly, there's a lot of areas in the news in the Denver area that get a bad rap, and also there's some areas you probably don't even know about. So I developed a 5-star system, and it's based on a number of things. Okay, obviously I've lived here for my entire life, and so I know a lot about the areas. What is your location? What is your lifestyle like? What are your commute times to both recreation as well as to your work? What is your interest in schools or walkability, restaurants, right? There are so many different factors, okay? So here are my criteria for how I've ranked these different areas. 1 star is budget-friendly areas that might be problematic. They might have infrastructure or lagging school districts, longer commute time, or higher crime rates. 2-star areas, good value for your money, so you might be really interested in them, and you might just want to know exactly what you're getting into, because they can be great areas to live, but there might be things you want to think about before you move there. 3 stars is what I consider like my sweet spot, and I live in one of the 3-star areas. These areas check off most of the boxes, and they offer both lifestyle and long-term appreciation that people are really looking for when they move to the area. 4 stars, I'm sitting in one of my 4-star areas. I'll tell you about it, where it is later. And if you live here, I would actually love to know if you agree with me. These are the areas that are mid to high end, premium picks. They feel like the Colorado lifestyle done right. And then of course, 5-star areas would be if your budget was not an issue and you have to have the absolute best of everything. Okay, so let's jump into what I would consider my 1-star areas. The 1-star tier includes areas of Central Aurora, Northeast Aurora, Brighton, Commerce City, downtown Denver. So if you look at a map, this is kind of that northeast quadrant of the Denver metro area. If you are living downtown and you are incredibly into sports, you want to walk to the Broncos Stadium, you want to attend concerts at Ball Arena or see the Avs or the Nuggets, this is the best place to live. I will tell you that I feel like downtown is a concrete jungle. I mean, I've been to New York City and it was overwhelming to me because I'm a mountain person. I like nature. I like being able to walk around a little pond and just have open space around me. And when I'm downtown, I start to feel a little bit claustrophobic. The condo market in downtown Denver averages $439,000. So it feels like a really great deal. You can just get in for a great price. I would tell you that downtown Denver has more challenges with their schools. Denver Public Schools is definitely lower rated than all of the other school districts in the entire Denver metro area. So do your research about that. I want to also talk about walkability. So walkability, downtown Denver, beautiful, fantastic area. Of course, tons of restaurants everywhere. This is where everyone goes. One time we actually did a cycling around the city on this weird little bus thing. So fun with all of my friends. So really, really fun if you want that kind of atmosphere. If you don't want that atmosphere, downtown Denver is not for you. Okay, moving on to Commerce City, Brighton, and Northeast Aurora. Average home price in these areas are $488,000, and that's down 2.8% year over year. It's less awesome for crime statistics because with greater access comes more theft and more crime. And there is a crime map that we can refer to, and if you are interested, I can send that to you. So just send me a quick text message or email and I'll shoot that that link over to you. Access to recreation. So we have Cherry Creek Reservoir, and you also have Highline Canal. Highline Canal is kind of winding, flat dirt path that goes throughout the city. Cherry Creek Reservoir, I used to spend a ton of time there when I was a child. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it's also packed on the weekends, but you can swim, you can paddleboard, there's boating, and so it's really, really fun. But also, it's so busy, and so I still add this to the 1-star tier, because if your commute to Cherry Creek Reservoir is 20 minutes or so just to get to that area, then you're looking at mountain access commute of well over an hour. So driving to the mountains from Aurora is a very, very long trek. So if you are moving for schools, for mountain access to the Denver area, then I would definitely consider looking other places, and I'm happy to help you figure out what actually fits your budget, because there are all kinds of variety to every other area I'm about to talk about. All right, let's jump into 2-star areas. For our 2-star areas, I've kind of lumped together all of our northern suburbs like Westminster, Thornton, North Glen, and then I've also added on here Southeast Aurora Highlands area, because that is a different feel to the Northeast Aurora that I was just talking about a second ago. So proximity to downtown Denver, not such a bad drive, but it's not fantastic, of course, depending on the time of the day. My sister lives up in Fort Collins, and sometimes it'll say an hour and a half to get down here, and other times it takes her 2.5 hours because it just gets so congested up there. The other thing that's kind of difficult about those areas is that they are really far away from the mountains. The mountains are bordering Boulder, Golden, Lakewood, and Littleton. That's where the mountains are, and those northern suburbs are a good half an hour away from actual mountain access. So trade-offs to these 2-star areas, they're not horrible, but they're not the top tier of Denver lifestyle. What's interesting though is there's a lot of variety. North Glen is an average of $473,000, and that's down 1.7% year over year. Thornton is an average home price of $533,000, and that's down 5% year over year. Westminster's a little bit higher because it's a little bit closer to the Boulder, Broomfield areas. It's at $606,000 average price, and that's up 2.6% year over year. And this data is all as of March 2026 when I pulled all of this information. I'm also gonna throw in these 2-star areas, Inglewood and Sheridan. And these are very small cities that I personally feel like are actually part of downtown Denver, even though they're really not. Both Inglewood and Sheridan have more of an urban feel. They're older, they have a lot of walkability. However, the older aspect of these areas make them a little bit more affordable than downtown Denver, and also just give them kind of a rougher feel. So let's talk about your 3-star areas next. Your 3-star areas include Centennial, Lakewood, and Arvada. And I would say these are amazing areas to live. A few trade-offs to be aware of, but for the price, I think you can get a great home. No, Lakewood and Arvada have very similar average home prices, and Lakewood is actually up 2.4% year over year. Arvada is pretty flat. And here's why these are 3-star areas and not necessarily at the very top end of my rating system. The average home in the Arvada Lakewood area ranges from 1960 to 1990, which that doesn't seem that old, but when you can look at newer homes in other areas of town, they feel like older other areas. So if you're looking for modern, Arvada and Lakewood are not really the places to live for you. Depending on the location, Lakewood and Arvada can really vary in how well the schools can do. There's some schools that have been revamped as like IB schools and they're absolutely top of the line. And then other areas have changed their schools so that they are more STEM focused or more art focused. And so you really just have to pay close attention to the neighborhood because Arvada and Lakewood are huge areas. So let's talk about lifestyle, walkability, recreation. This is the place to absolutely be. You have Bear Creek Lake Park right in the heart of Lakewood. You have Green Mountain, you have White Ranch, open space is not too far of a drive. All of these within 10 or 15 minutes of Arvada and Lakewood. No big deal. Let's talk about Centennial now. Centennial is an interesting area because I technically grew up in Centennial, but back then we called it Aurora. Centennial has a lot of access to downtown Denver. It has walkability. It has trails throughout the community. It has a little bit less access to the mountains, but that might not be something that's super interesting for you, and that's okay. South Suburban is a recreation district that is throughout all of Centennial. So I actually think Centennial is a fantastic place to live. A few small trade-offs. I mean, people can debate on whether Cherry Creek Schools is better than Douglas County. It kind of is a personal preference, so I'll leave that up to you. And of course, you're welcome to ask me questions about it. Okay, let's jump into 4-star areas. So I live in a 4-star area, and I'm sitting in one of them as well. I'm talking about Littleton, Highlands Ranch, Castle Rock, Parker, and Morrison. So what makes all of these communities a 4-star amazing place to live basically is the fact that they have this suburban feel to them. They are more open. I'm sitting here in Highlands Ranch right now at Redstone Park and I can see the foothills. There's a beautiful little pond right here. There's soccer fields. There's one of my favorite neighborhoods in Highlands Ranch right here, West Ridge, and then over here is Highlands Ranch Golf Course. Highlands Ranch is absolutely the epitome of a master planned community because everything is here. And when you live in Highlands Ranch, you know it, that you love it because you don't even need to leave. Castle Rock and Parker are so similar to Highlands Ranch. And what's interesting is they're even newer than Highlands Ranch is, and they're still master planned, beautiful communities. I was just out in Parker the other day to do a volleyball game for my daughter, and I was just floored at how beautiful the shops were, how everything was so brand new and gorgeous. The average prices definitely vary. Highlands Ranch average price is a little bit higher because it's closer to the city. Parker and Castle Rock are less expensive, but there's also a lot of new builds out there. So if you are interested in a new build in those areas, let me know because the builder is not going to let you be represented unless you bring me to your first visit. So if you want to check out some of the new build communities in Parker or Castle Rock, let me know. You can get an amazing price for a brand new modern home in one of these 4-star communities. Next up, I live in Littleton and I love Morrison as well. So let's chat about what those areas look like. They're a little bit different than Parker and Castle Rock and Highlands Ranch. What's interesting about Littleton is there's a huge amount of variety, all the way up to multi-million-dollar homes at the Red Rocks Golf Course community in Roxborough. And then there are mixes of apartment communities, townhomes, all kind of meshed into one area. If you are wanting the best of all worlds, I really do think that Littleton is the best place to live. Unless, of course, you can afford one of these 5-star communities. So 5 stars, Cherry Hills, Boulder, and Golden. And then I'm throwing Lone Tree in there as well, and I'll explain here in just a moment. Let's start with Boulder because it's the most unique. And if you haven't been to Boulder, you need to go to Boulder. It's not just a university town, it's a very eclectic town of people who want direct mountain access. Boulder Canyon is spectacular. The average home price in Boulder is $963,000. You heard that right. That's pretty flat year over year as of right now. Boulder Valley School District is one of the highest rated school districts in the entire state. So the other pull for people who are wanting to live in Boulder is just the fact that there is really top-notch education. Golden is next, definitely 5 stars. This might be my actual favorite area because it's like the hub. It's like direct mountain access up to the ski resorts, up to everything fun from Breckenridge to Vail, Arapahoe Basin. And by the way, there are very few homes for sale and the prices are incredibly high in Golden. So if you can live in Golden, it's amazing. Now let's move to Cherry Hills. Cherry Hills, its own little special place in the middle of Denver. It's 5 to 10 minutes from Denver Tech Center. It has golf courses, it has trails, it has equestrian centers. Cherry Hills is absolutely top of the line. And of course, the average price in Cherry Hills is incredibly high for the area, which is why it gets 5 stars. So if you're interested in touring something in Cherry Hills, let me know. Okay, finally, I'm gonna talk about Lone Tree, which I feel like Lone Tree doesn't even get noticed until you are looking at a map and wondering, what is that area between I-25 and Highlands Ranch? And it's Lone Tree. And the reason I put Lone Tree as one of my top 5-star areas is because the area is absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna lump Castle Pines into this because they're kind of merging together. There's a lot of professional athletes who live in Castle Pines. Lone Tree has some of the most spectacular neighborhoods. Access to workplaces like Denver Tech Center or Park Meadows area or downtown Denver isn't horrible. So if you can afford one of these are the place to be. And when you are living in these areas, you'll feel like you're living in a place of convenience and luxury. I am a specialist in helping people relocate here, make good choices about where they want to live so you don't have to move again. I had a client call me and say, Heather, we just don't love where we live anymore and we want to move. And I mean, it's a little bit sad when you've relocated here from out of town and you're like, oh gosh, I wish I had lived somewhere else. So give me a call or schedule on my Linktree because I want to chat with you about your individual situation and just make sure that you make the smart choice on location when you're purchasing here so you don't have to move again in a couple of years. I'm Heather O'Leary, your Colorado homegirl with eXp Realty, and I love this beautiful state, so I would love to help you move here as well.